Evening folks, it's Dean here again from Dean's Beer Reviews, number 23, I think. Yeah, 23. We're going to do a real ale today. I was inspired. I went to a real ale tasting tutoring session yesterday, and I'm a member of CAMRA, which, as lots of you all know, is Campaign for Real Ale, and we're trying to enter our local beers into awards and things. So we've got a group of us have officially got to go around tasting and noting down, and it's dirty work, but somebody's got to do it. So I thought I'll do a real ale. I know I've done a lot of Belgian ones. I'll go back to doing a real ale today, and this is one from Norfolk. It's quite a popular one. In fact, it says CAMRA says this is real ale, so it must be good, of which I'm a proud member, like I say. And it's won Champion Beer of Britain. I don't know what year, but it's won Champion of Beer of Britain. It's a bottle conditioned ale, of course. Yeast sediment at the bottom, which you need to be careful about, so leaving the bottom. Obviously, the idea behind the yeast sediment, obviously, is lots of you may or may not know, is just to develop the character of the beer to the point it's served, same as you would in a cask in a pub, cask conditioned. Right, it's a style called an old ale. Old ale is like I say, is a bit of an aged sort of ale, dark. Strongish, it's 4.6%, which is not. It's stronger than session strength for ale, and it's from Norfolk. It's Woodforde's Norfolk Nog is what we're doing today, and I'm very much looking forward to trying this one. Hopefully that's in the shop. Hopefully that's in the shop.
Sorry, yes.
Sorry, wife's asleep behind the camera. It's all right. Bless her, she's got a cold. Excuse me 1 second. Stop it. Stop it. Sorry, I've got two dogs here. One's a new, young, sort of springy thing, and he's licking the hell out of the old one's eye because it's dirty, and I end up making him sore. So, the thing is, the other one's just dumb enough to let him. So, come on, enough's enough. Right, back to the beer. I probably wasted about 3 minutes doing that.
No.
Good. Right, anyway, 4.6% Woodforde's Norfolk Nog. Right. The thing is with these bottle conditioned beers, you've got to be careful when you're doing the tasting, because obviously it's good to half fill the glass to have a taste, and then fill it, to have a smell and things, and then top it up when you want to taste it. But you've got to be careful with the sediment. You're supposed to pour these sedimented beers in one long pour to leave it at the bottom, but we shall see. Tasting in my Norfolk Real Ale shot pint glass as well. I'm just going to let that rest. Oh wow, that looks really nice. What have we got? Carbonation around the edge to start with. That's better. It's a dark red, not quite ruby, it's like a dark amber red sort of colour with a slightly off-white head, which is a little finger's worth, and I've barely poured it. Let's have a... yeah, like a dark... It's almost like a murky colour. Not in a horrible way. Like an old colour, like it's an old ale, something to chew over. It's got ruby red hues, but it's mainly, I would say, more of a tawny sort of colour, bordering on copper, with a nice creamy looking off-white head, which is fairly loose. It's breaking up quite quickly, and it's a little bit clingy. Not too much lacing, but we'll see what it's like when we pour the whole thing. Let's give it a swirl round and a smell. It's got soft fruity notes, a little bit fruity. Sorry. And stop. And yeah, sorry, I thought we were just about to be invaded then. Yeah, it's soft and fruity. It's a hint of caramel. And fairly malty. I'm going to top the glass up actually. It's always, I was taught yesterday when I was tasting, it's always good to smell after you've tasted, but I can see his point, but it's nice to smell and then taste is like the pièce de résistance at the end. But because it works, the smell obviously comes back up through your throat and through your nose. And plus when you've got a head like that, it's hard to smell through. This is a lovely, thick, creamy looking beer. That head is very creamy looking. Bit left in the bottle. That'll do. Oop. Right. Good old real. Oh, that looks really dark now. I've got it in the glass. I've managed to catch quite a lot of the sediment there as well. See, I knew I'm going to do that in future whenever we have a bottle condition one. I'm going to pour the whole thing in because I've got quite a lot of floaters now. Oh well, it's my own fault, but it looks lovely. The head's nice and creamy. It's fairly tight looking now I've poured it. It's quite stiff looking. Anyway, cheers. Get another one. Hint of cherry. It's not too bitter, it's quite smooth feeling. It's a moderate mouthfeel to it. It's not heavy bodied, but it's certainly not light bodied. It's got like a peppery bitterness from the hops as well coming through. Bit of vanilla maybe. I guess that's because it's aged. Depends what it's aged in, I suppose. If it was aged in wood, then it'd impart a vanilla sort of taste, but I don't know what it's aged in, to be honest with you. Give me another one. Nice rounded. It's definitely a warming beer. Like I say, it feels stronger, but it's 4.6%. It feels more maybe sort of 5.5. It's got like sort of warming, sort of toffee caramel edge, sort of, but it's rich, rounded, and quite fruity. How are we doing for time, my darling? Nose. It's fairly malty as well. There's not a whole lot to say about it. I don't know if it's just because I've got a cold, I can barely smell anything and taste anything, but there's still stuff coming through. Yeah, it's got a creamy mouthfeel. You can feel it coat your mouth. The aftertaste is it's long and fairly bitter, almost coppery because of the hops. Although it is lightly hopped, you can't taste or smell much hop at all. It's more of a fairly fruity, fairly malty, I would say. Rounded sort of, you can imagine a rich, rounded, malty, fruity ale. That's this. It's perfect for warming the cockles on a winter's night. I would say that's the verdict. Woodforde's Norfolk Nog. Definitely a beer worth checking out. Although do be careful when you're pouring it, because it looks like soup at the minute. But it tastes great. Cheers!